The wind howled like a wounded beast across the empty plains as snow drifted over the desert sand drear. Strange, unsettling, and on that cold Christmas, a cowboy named Elias Ward opened his cabin door to find a woman trembling on his porch, a woman carrying a child that was not his. But fate had brought her here. Elias Ward was not the kind of man who feared storms. He had faced outlaws, droughts, and the kind of loneliness that carved scars deeper than bullets, a quiet, brave rancher who once believed in love until it tore his heart open and left him wandering like a shadow. He lived alone now, tucked away on the outskirts of Hollow Creek, where sunsets bled red across the sky and the nights whispered old secrets. He wasn't expecting a bride, yet there she was. Her name was Leela Maren, breathtaking, mysterious, wrapped in a worn shawl, her eyes shining with fear and something softer. "Hope," she whispered, shaking in the cold. "Please, I didn't know where else to go." Elias should have sent her back. She carried another man's child, a truth that would shame her anywhere from Texas to the Dakotas. But something in her eyes held him still, something brave, fragile, and full of unspoken storms. He stepped aside. "Come in, you're safe here." That was the moment everything changed. Snow blanketed the desert as Lila moved through Elias's quiet home with the grace of someone trying not to disturb ghosts. She lit lamps, mended his shirts, whispered thanks for every kindness, but she avoided questions about her past. Elias watched her, how she stood at the window at dusk, hand resting on her stomach, eyes full of longing. How she smiled softly when the fire crackled, how she bit her lip when the baby kicked, hiding the tremor of fear. There was a secret she carried heavier than her child, a truth she wasn't ready to speak. Sometimes Elias rode out at dawn, the pale sun rising over the burning desert horizon. In return to find Lila tending the horses or sweeping the porch, each small gesture carving itself into his quiet heart. He didn't touch her, didn't question her. He simply made space for her hand for the child she carried. Slowly, painfully, something tender began to grow between them. On the sixth night, as lantern light flickered against the wooden walls, Lila finally broke, tears clinging to her lashes. "Elias, I wasn't running from shame," she whispered. "I was running for my life." She told him everything. The baby's father was Clayton Reed, a dangerous outlaw with blood on his hands and her name on a wanted poster. She fled the moment she discovered she was carrying his child, choosing survival over captivity. But Clayton wasn't finished. He was hunting her. Elias didn't flinch, didn't step back. He reached for his coat, his hat, his rifle, quiet as the night, steady as the mountains. "If he comes here," he said softly, "he'll have to go through me first." But Clayton never arrived. Maybe the storm stopped him. Maybe fate had chosen mercy. When dawn broke on Christmas morning, Leela stepped onto the porch and saw Elias standing there watching the rising sun spread gold across the frozen desert. A man who protected her welcomed her and opened his heart to a child that wasn't his. She whispered, "Elias." "Thank you." He turned, eyes warm for the first time in years. No one should face Christmas alone. Their story didn't end there. It was only beginning. A tale of courage, redemption, and the kind of love the Wild West rarely allowed, but deeply needed. If you enjoyed this journey through the untamed frontier, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more gripping tales from the edge of history. Comment below which moment touched your heart the most. Oud Tales Storytelling.